Hello, welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger. The date is April 23rd, 2023. No, I won't say it. 23, 23. Yeah, okay, no. I say that every month when it's the 23rd. So, yeah, let's pass that by this time. Um, but anyway, I hope that you guys have had a good month. Yeah, looking at this, April is almost done and over with. I myself can't wait for it to be over with. My April, especially this last week and then the week before, haven't been very peachy. And you know the hell of it is, nothing actually went wrong. Uh, it's just for some reason, I've been feeling kind of uh, edgy, nervous, jumpy. Uh, I wouldn't say depressed, but uh, I definitely been on edge for the past 2 weeks for yet undiscernible reasons. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's this constant gloom and rain and uh, we're supposed to be into springtime, but and look at this, the weather is just not that good, and maybe that's it. Or maybe it's just the year of the rabbit playing on my nerve. Have you ever gone through a period of time where from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, it's nothing but gloom and doom and unimaginable possible disasters going through in your mind, and you don't really know what's wrong, and there's nothing that's actually wrong. Everything going as smoothly as can be expected, but a part of you is like a rat trapped, inside a cage, just uh, squealing, squeaking, fighting, struggling, scratching, trying to tell you that there's something wrong. Well, that's how what my previous 2 weeks has been like. Luckily, Johnny Tiger, if nothing else, is very resilient, and I am proud to say that I am very strong psychologically. So when something like this happens, I'm very, very good at just dealing with it myself and not let it spill over to other people in my life. And that is very important because sometimes when we lose control of something like this, it can spill over and turn you into a rather toxic person. And no matter how good a person you are, there are times when you can be very toxic to those around you. So today, I want to talk a little bit about how to deal with people around us, especially good friends and partners that are negative, that are very negative. Maybe if they're in a rut, maybe they're going through something, but they come home, they're nothing but negativity. They are the champion of negative emotion. You tell them that you suggest to go out for dinner, they tell you everything is so expensive and nothing tastes good. You suggest to go bowling, and they tell you that bowling alleys are full of bacteria and germs, and you suggest to go to the swimming pool, and they tell you that the swimming pool is full of people urinating in the swimming pool. It's like nothing you can say can impress them or make them feel good. You can say is right. How do you deal with someone like this? Well, today we're going to take a quick look at a couple of solutions. Now, let me quickly say this. What I'm going to talk about today is more useful when this negativity is more directed internally. AKA, this is a person who is feeling very negative about themselves, and then maybe that negativity spill over a little bit into their daily life and to the people around them, uh, we are going to be more looking at people like that. Now, there are, unfortunately, there are people that you will run into in your lifetime that are just chronically negative. No matter what you say, you're wrong. No matter what you do, you're not good enough. Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate that to our parents, right? Okay, if it's people like that, I'm sorry. That is an ongoing thing. That is not like something that you can deal with. The best thing in that case is to just distance yourself from them and let them be on their way and you go your way. Because things like that is way too much for you to be able to change, especially if they've been like that for their whole life. My own mother, for example, is such a person. Uh, i- if you tell her you bought a new shirt, she's going to tell you you overpaid. She can buy the same shirt for $5, and you tell her that you buy a new pair of shoes. She tell you that pair of shoes is knockoff. They're not genuine, and they'll probably break in 2 days. And you tell her that you want to order shrimp fried rice for dinner, and she tell you that shrimp is going to give you high cholesterol. You'll probably die young if you eat that much shrimp. Yeah, that's the kind of person my mom is, and she has been her whole life, at least as long as I've known her, which is about 40 odd years. She has always been this person. So if she has been this person this long, and she's this way to everybody around her, there's no fixing it. Yeah, especially if she herself doesn't want to be fixed. There's no way. The only way to deal with that is to walk away and don't deal with it. But what if you have a friend or your relationship partner who is normally not this bad, but for some reason, because they're going through a hard time, or maybe they are dealing with a lot of pressure, like a massive credit card debt, stuff like that, and they become very, very negative all the time. Uh, how do you deal with that? Well, luckily, there are a couple of little tips and tricks that might be useful. Uh, First, more important than anything else, the first tip I'm going to show you is to rethink your approach on negativity. Okay? Fix the problem within yourself first before you attempt to fix them. Why do I say that? Because in this day and age, a lot of us get conditioned into thinking negativity is bad, negative emotions are bad, and a lot of these self-help books will tell you things like uh, uh, distance yourself from negative people and they'll bring you down, and negative emotions are toxic and they'll influence you badly and erode your relationship and all this stuff, and you should just leave it. You should just walk away. While that is pretty sage advice in a chronically toxic negative person, like I already mentioned in the beginning, this is not good advice to dealing with someone who you are in a relationship with. Okay, this person might actually need help, might actually be under a lot of duress. So they do have the right to feel negative. Maybe they are in so much pain that you don't know about that they are feeling negative. So walking away from them, distancing yourself from them, uh, yeah, it's really not the top solution here. Also, one landmine is to one landmine that a lot of people fall into is thinking that negativity is bad. While prolonged negativity and mismanaged negativity is definitely bad, I can tell you that negativity in itself it's actually quite good. Why do I say that? Because a lot of time, negativity will give the person much more drive and energy than positivity. This may sound counterintuitive until you sit down and think about more poets, more artists, more musicians write great materials because of negative emotions, negative energies. I myself, as a musician, I write way better. And as a poet, I write way better when I'm feeling sad or depressed or gloomy or I got the blue. If I'm happy and cheery and upbeat, I can't write crap. I can't write Schmidt. Like I my creativity is directly tied to negative emotion. So when I'm really happy, I am not very creative. This is why a lot of time my best work come out when something seriously go wrong in my life. Um, a couple of good example was back in 2017, I got hit with the worst bout of seasonal depression I've ever experienced in my whole life. At the same time, my finance was a mess because of my mom, uh, who almost bankrupted me. And I was not in a good place in my life. And for years and years, people have been telling me that hey, you need to start a podcast. You need to start a podcast. You need to record a podcast. But for years and years, I put that off, and that sounds really interesting. But man, I just don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I don't want to do it. It takes so much work, recording, editing, gathering material. You have to talk for 1 hour, and sometimes you have to talk to other people for 1 hour. I don't want to do that. But when I got hit with that bout of seasonal depression, I said to myself, man, I can't let this go on. This is going to mess me up. So I need to do something new. I need to counteract this with a new project. And the Johnny Tiger Experience podcast was born because of that. Furthermore, in the beginning of COVID, when I could no longer go to work and I was having problem getting grocery, money was becoming a serious issue. I couldn't go out with friends. Things were looking very bleak. Well, you guys probably remember that's when I started making daily videos on this channel. So most of the big projects, most of the really good stuff I've done in my life came out of something really negative. So don't knock that negativity. That negativity can make someone do something really, really great, right? So before you ride in there like a knight with shiny armor and a white horse and bash that negativity over the head and determine to uh, murder it before it can do its thing, realize that negativity can be a good thing. Your partner, your friend, may have good reason to be negative about maybe you are really running out of money. Maybe you are really running out of food. Maybe they're not making that up in their head. Maybe things are really that bad. Okay, take a clear look at what they're dealing with, and then try. Uh, Doorbell. Since we are almost halfway through the video, I'm not going to retake. Uh, we'll just give it a second or two. I know it's just a doorbell from a delivery, so I don't really need to go answer the door. So just give it a couple of seconds, and then we can continue. Yeah, see, with the notification on the Amazon device. This is the problem when I don't know how to edit videos. All my videos have to be like almost like one straight take through and through. Maybe I can pause here and there, but when something like this happen, pretty much either push on through or retake. Luckily, this is Sausage Sunday. If this was Music Monday, then I definitely would have to do a retake. So, just to recap, the first way to deal with a negative partner is to try to take a real look at what they're dealing with, what is causing their negativity, and see if it is validated. Okay? And if it is valid, then you want to try to redirect that negativity to help them achieve something, make something out of it. The negativity make a great creative force, make a great drive to start something new. Maybe your partner or your friend always wanted to do a podcast, but then never got the drive to do it. Maybe they always wanted to quit drinking or quit smoking. Maybe they've always wanted to go travel the world. Maybe they've always wanted to try to become an artist. This would be a great time if you can find a way to redirect that negativity into creative force. You may be surprised at what may come of it. So that is tip number one. Tip number two, in dealing with someone, a partner, a friend that is going through a negativity spell, is to drown that with positivity. Okay, this is going to initially, especially, it's going to like it's going to piss them off. This is going to annoy them to no end because we all know that when you're feeling negative, there's nothing more annoying than someone who is all cheery and happy and positive. But this is very real. Okay, while in math, two negative makes a positive in relationship and friendship and social interaction, two negative will just make an even bigger negative. So if you really take it upon yourself to want to help your partner, help your friend deal with their negativity, you have to make sure that your positivity is fully charged. I am so serious about this. I have a friend. I won't mention her name here. Those of you who are in my circle of friends, you probably would know who I'm talking about, but I won't mention her name here. Uh, this friend, she is very negative a lot of the time. Like the kind of person you go out for dinner with her, and within half an hour, she's all pissed off and ready to murder everybody in the world and storm off on her own. And you just can't seem to figure out what the hell is wrong with her. Uh, and yet, I am able, a lot of the time, I'm able to cope with her, to deal with her, to snap her out of it provided that I'm left alone with her. If it's her and her partner and me or with someone else, it doesn't work. But if I'm left alone with her, I'm usually able to snap her out of that. Uh, because I am generally speaking very positive. Even when I'm feeling negative, generally a very positive person, and I have a very forceful personality, very solid uh, constitution, uh, and I am very good at letting other people's negative energy just bounce off of me like I'm a rock in a thunderstorm. This is why I'm good at my job. This is why I can say this proudly, I'm a very good counselor. Okay, this is why. Because I don't let that negative energy come into me and affect me while I can try to affect them with my positive energy. However, however, this is not just for me to brag about how good I am. This is for me to illustrate how insidious this negative energy can be. Okay, if you if you have a moment of weakness and this negative energy from your friend or partner find its way in, it can result in something really bad, right? This can originally let's say okay, let's say you are talking with a friend who is going through a divorce because his girlfriend cheated on him. So now this friend is totally a woman hater, and he got nothing but negative things to say about women. And on top of his own relationship, he's going to tell you that your girlfriend is probably cheating on you, your partner is probably cheating on you too, and they are going to have all kind of examples and uh, scenarios for you, and they're going to mention, well, the other time when your girlfriend or your boyfriend said they were going coming home late because of work. How do you know they were really coming home late because of work? Maybe they were cheating with someone else. My girlfriend was cheating with someone else. So what makes yours any different? Like they're going to try to lash you again and again with that negative emotion, negative energy, because misery love company. We all know that. Okay, so at this time, it's so important for your positivity to be strong. You need to be strong. You need to have faith in your own positivity, because if not, very soon you will start to doubt your own partner, your own relationship. Very soon you turn into a woman hater yourself, and the two of you won't resolve anything. You just end up with two very grumpy people, two very grumpy individuals. Uh, I had that happen to me before. Um, with the friend I mentioned. Like I said, I'm usually very good at dealing with her negativity and snapping her out of it. But there was one time, uh, provided this was much when I was much younger, uh, when I wasn't this strong in my faith in myself. So I was drunk that night too, and her negative emotion actually got into me, and I started doubting myself and my relationship, and I started doubting what the world thought of me. I started doubting, like losing confidence in myself, and it was not a good feeling. And yeah, it was a very embarrassing experience. So tip number two, when you're dealing with someone who's negative, very strongly, very toxic, because of something they are going through, you need to make sure that your positivity is strong. You have faith in your positivity. You need to make sure your positivity is fully charged. Otherwise, like a drowning person, they will drag you down with them. Right? So that's tip number two. Tip number three, and before I give you tip number three, I want to forewarn you that tip number three is risky. Okay, if you mishandle this one, if you miscalculate the situation, this is going to make the situation really, really bad. Okay, so use this one at your own discretion. It will work a lot of time, but you need to be very good at uh, judging your situation, your relationship, and the people, the parties involved. Tip number three, when dealing with a person who has very toxic negativity, who might be going through a lot of stuff, and you don't know how to snap them out of it, and you yourself is being affected, you don't have enough positivity to fight this, okay? Then it's time to elicit help, time to enlist help. This is the time when you want to look at, okay, who does this person listen to? Do they have a friend or a relative, a favorite uncle, favorite grandpa, grandfather, elderly in the family, someone that they listen to, someone they respect? Then you want to get that person involved, because as much as it hurt our ego to admit this, we sometimes are too close to the person, and even though we think we should be the person they listen to, a lot of time when you're so close to them, you live with them every day, they won't listen to you, but they will listen to Uncle Peter, they will listen to Grandpa Joe, they will listen to Sensei Johnny Tiger, right? So a lot of time, if you can identify this one person who your partner or your friend listen to, have respect for, then you want to bring that person into the picture and let them handle the situation. Sometimes these people can say very little and get very much more done than you can. Uh, like I said, as much as it hurt our ego to admit that, sometimes that is the case, right? Now, you got to be so careful with this one because if you miscalculate, mismanage this one, it's going to blow up in your face. You're going to turn into a tattletale. Your partner won't trust you anymore because they think that you're talking to, you're trying to stick someone on them. You're trying to pull rank, or you're trying to rat them out to family members. And they won't have confidence in you anymore. So if you mismanage this one, it can be really bad, right? Uh, the person who you call need to be very good at managing people. The person that you call, your person that you decide to bring in, need to be very smooth, very subtle. So it's not like you call Johnny Tiger, hey Johnny, uh, can you talk to my husband? My husband is feeling really down and being unreasonable and all kind of uh, abusive and negative. And then Johnny Tiger call your husband 5 minutes later. What's up, dude? Your wife tell me you're being a pain in the butt. So what's the matter with you? Why can't you be a good person? Well, then that's not going to solve the issue, right? right off the bat, your husband just going to get even more mad at you, in this case, right? So you want to call a person who is really subtle, who knows how to do this kind of stuff, right? So rather than calling your husband 5 minutes later, give him crap and tell him that you said something, maybe Johnny Tiger would do something different. Johnny Tiger would uh, call your husband next day and say, "Hey, dude, uh, you want to go out for some coffee today? Um, no, just have a chat and no, hang out. Yeah, I think we really need to spend more time together. And then when we are out for coffee, maybe Johnny Tiger would say something like, "Hey, uh, you doing okay? I noticed that you've been, I don't know, not quite yourself. You feeling okay? Everything okay? I would love to help you. I would love to be able to help, but I need to know what's going on. What's wrong? Like you've been a little bit, I don't know, like negative, waspish lately. So what's happening? What's going on? Yeah? So I like in this case Johnny Tiger can help your friend, your partner, without being too direct, without saying, "Hey, your wife tell me that you're being a pain in the butthole," and so on and so on, right? So you need to be able to trust the right people. You need to be able to pick the right person to call when you want to use tip number three. Again, let me say this: if you mismanage, miscalculate, then this one can totally blow up in your face. So to recap, the three ways, three little tips to deal with a partner or a friend who is going through a negativity spell is one, to validate their feeling, to see if they have a good reason to be negative, and to find a way to redirect that negative energy so it can turn into something good. Number two is to drown that negativity with your positivity, right? You got to smother it with love. Okay, it sounds corny, but that is really the way to That is a good way to deal with it. Number three is to find someone else who can deal with that. Find a person who is a trusted, respected elder, friend, teacher that can uh, deal with something like this. I hope that we feel more sympathy for the people in our life that may feel that much negativity. And I hope that after this episode, we learn a little about how to interact, deal with, and help them. Thank you for checking out today's episode. I'll be back again tomorrow for some Music Monday. For now, have a good night.